Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 608 Wednesday, August 17th, 78 degrees. Get up to 92 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined in studio right now by Shannon Murphy-Bastidas. She is the Executive Director of Prevention First. Prevention First it was about keeping children healthy, safe, and drug-free. And we will be joined on the line in just a few minutes by Quaderia Benjamin, who's a junior at Neptune Township High School and the chairperson for the Youth Time to Shine Committee, which is a Prevention First program. So first, good morning. Shannon, how are you?
Good morning. How are you, Jeremy?
I am fantastic. Excuse me. Shannon, why don't you give us a kind of an overview of what the organization is all about? What is Prevention First all about?
Prevention First is a nonprofit organization that provides prevention education programs to meet the needs of New Jersey families and children. We provide in an after-school and in-school programming that includes alcohol, tobacco, other drug prevention, substance abuse prevention, healthy relationships, dating prevention, and
I was going to say dating prevention. That
dating
was
prevention,
my whole high school career.
That might have, Well, I want my own kids to prevent dating. Violence prevention and bullying prevention.
Wow.
So we go across the board.
And I'm looking at your website, and you have like a ton of different programs in each of these.
Yes.
Right? I mean, is this like, it looks like you have like 6 different substance abuse prevention programs, 4 different violence prevention programs. I mean, these are all different kind of facets of the programs that you offer?
Yes, we provide across the different age groups. We provide the different curriculums meet the needs per grade level. So, and they're all evidence-based programs. So they're proven to work, and we go from pre-kindergarten all the way through high school into early adulthood.
Okay, and you are part of the Preferred Behavioral Group?
Prevention First became an affiliate of Preferred Behavioral Health Group in 2013.
Oh, okay.
So basically what that means is they're the mothership, if you want to call it that, and then the 3 affiliates, which is Prevention First, Preferred Children's Services, and Preferred Behavioral Health.
Right.
So we're under that umbrella.
So that means that Mary Pat is like she's like the Grand Wizard.
She's the big kahuna.
The big kahuna.
Yeah.
I guess Grand Wizard has a bad connotation, right? That's all, the Southern thing. We won't talk about that now. I was thinking Trump and David Duke. All right. So how did you get involved with Prevention First?
I actually began Prevention First. I started working there over 10 years ago.
Okay.
I actually started in the classroom as an education specialist, so it's a little unique. I saw firsthand how well these programs work. And I became the executive director in 2014 after Mary Pat became the CEO of Preferred Behavioral Health. So big shoes to fill, but we're doing well.
So had you always been interested in prevention? I mean, was this a passion for you?
When I began Prevention First, yes. I was actually formerly a pre-kindergarten teacher. So I went from that to it's a big change, and then I became an educator with Prevention First, and I saw how well the programs worked, and we talk about things that children don't usually have an opportunity to talk about.
Right.
And that is just how to make a simple decision, how to make a good choice, how to resist peer pressure. So it works. The evidence-based programs work.
Now, how do you decide? Do you remember how you decide to go from being a pre-K teacher to making that leap over into the nonprofit world?
Well, I always want to try everything once. So, I decided to move, forward. Pre-K is a great age, but I wanted to try something different, and it really it's very gratifying work.
Okay, so which is the biggest piece right now? Like, if you were to say, where is your major focus as an organization? Where is that?
Well, we do a lot of substance abuse prevention. In today's day and age, unfortunately, substance abuse is on the rise. So our programs, many of our programs that we have are for that purpose. We do the life skills training program, which is actually started as a smoking prevention program, and that has geared, and the studies have shown that it goes across a plethora of issues.
Right.
So, I mean, that's really what we're seeing on the forefront.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that whatever we're doing is effective, and we want to meet the individual community needs, because it's not a one size fits all. So that's what's most important to us.
Okay. And you're based mostly out of Monmouth County?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And throughout Monmouth County, or more kind of geo-based in a certain area?
Well, we could provide programming across the state of New Jersey, but we have most of our services in Monmouth County and Ocean counties.
Okay. And what are you seeing? Are you seeing, I mean, this seems like a no-brainer, but are you seeing, is heroin the biggest issue at this point, or are there other things that are sneaking up that we should be aware of?
Well, that's in the leader in the news is the heroin epidemic. Our efforts are really trying to get to them before they, so we can build the resiliency. So that's really what's important to us, is we want to get to them before, they reach a level of epidemic.
So what age is that?
We are in a lot of third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade.
Really?
Yeah. That's a very, very vital time to get in there. And what we do is we like to follow the kids. So we'll start in grade 3, and then we will track them through grade 4 and 5.
Gotcha.
And that's, the higher the dosage, the better chances of them resisting the pressures of everyday life.
Right. And I guess at that age you could also you're talking more also about what are kind of the gateways into drugs, because I know we talk a lot about heroin, but we don't talk as much about prescription drugs and some of the things that lead to heroin.
Right. And we do have funding that where we do programming specific to heroin.
Okay.
And prescription drug. So it's important to get to them before it gets to that point.
Okay. So can you give me an example of a program that you would do with a third grader?
Well, I always go back to the same program that I love the most, because I'm a trainer in it, is life skills training.
Okay.
It's evidence-based. It's multi-session. We talk about self-esteem. We talk about how to make a good decision, to stop, think about, your choices, to empower them, to let them know that they have more control over their decisions, really, than what I think most adults give them credit for.
Right.
So when they see that, and they see that they can communicate in a healthy way, it gets them what they want. And that's really, it's empowering to see them do that. And the third graders, that we get them up on their feet. We don't dictate. We get them on their feet. They practice the skills.
Right.
It's not just, this is how you should make a good decision. It's put it into play.
Right. And you're teaching them, I'm sure, how to fight against peer pressure and how to, that's what I always worry about, with kids of my own, is that, I think they're good kids, and I just worry if there's a group of 6 kids, 6 of their friends around that are all, doing something, that they're not going to feel that immense pressure to go do it as well, right?
Absolutely. And the life skills training program has a specific lesson on self-esteem, and that's the first one, because when we start the program, we want them to say, hey, you have more power. Your peers are there to help you, really, and you should help them, and protect one another, and stand up for one another, especially in certain situations.
Cool. So when we come back, we actually will talk to Quaderia Benjamin, who is a junior at Neptune High School and a chairperson for your Youth Time to Shine committee. And we'll talk more about Prevention First and what the organization is doing to help across the state in the areas of prevention with our youth. Shannon, Murphy-Bastidas, Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after this.
Rush Limbaugh today at noon. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Okay, so we are here with Prevention First. We're talking to Shannon Murphy-Bastidas, and now we want to introduce on the line with us Quaderia Benjamin, junior at Neptune Township High School and the chairperson of the Youth Time to Shine committee. Good morning, Quaderia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. So why don't you tell us a little about what you do with your committee for Prevention First?
Okay, so I've been in Prevention First since I was like 9 years old. And basically every time we have an event, I try my best to make it out there and help, basically. We do lots of events. One of my favorite have to be Strengthening Families. We go out, help families, teach them how to be more respectful and with their parents, of course, and just tell them that they can do better, and that's what basically I do.
So how long have you, and so what got you started working with Prevention First? Why were you kind of motivated to help?
So when my grandmother, she played a big role in Prevention First, and so I was kind of forced into going at first.
Right.
And plus, they told me free food, and I'm not going to lie, when they said free food, I was totally there. And plus, also on top of that, my sister, she was also my older sister. She was the chairperson, and she was just telling me how like she has so many inspiring stories and how many people she's helped, and I wanted to be a part of it. So that's when I really started showing up to more meetings and being the best,
Well, that's awesome. Quaderia, I would tell you, by the way, I could tell you that, so you're about what, like 16, 17?
Yes, I'm 16.
Okay, so you're 16. I will tell you at 42, it still gets me to a meeting when somebody says free food. So don't worry about that. You had the right motivation there. You were right on point.
Yeah.
All right. So give me an example of like some of the fun activities that you guys that you get involved with, which helps kind of drive your message home. Does that make sense?
Yes. So we did one event that I really like. I thought it was the most fun event. I don't know why, but we did an event called Kick Butts. We went to a basketball court and we picked up cigarette butts, but it was more like a competition. And I tried to get as much cigarette butts off that ground so I could win a prize as possible. Nobody was distracting me. I picked up as many cigarette butts, and like we were going to town hall and letting them know like this is a smoke-free zone and there's all these cigarette butts there. Like we had at least 5 big black garbage bags full of cigarettes.
Wow, and that's so that really kind of drives home the size of an issue, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. That's why, I guess with vaping, there's no cigarette butts. Not that that's any better, because that's super dangerous too, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys talk about that at all? Do you talk about vaping or anything like that? I mean,
yeah.
Because I think a lot of kids, especially at your age, think that that's cool and that there's no harm in it and it's no big deal. But that's kind of the gateway into other stuff, right?
Yeah, and vaping and cigarettes are almost on the same level, so people don't understand that, and they think it's safer, but it really isn't.
Cool. So at Neptune High School, what are people? Are the kids that you go to school with, are they like impressed that you do this? How do they feel about it? Are they supportive?
Some people are, and some people are just like, okay, like weird, like calling me weird and stuff. But like, I really could care less what anybody else thinks. What I feel in my heart, this is what's best for me in my heart. So I'm going to continue to do it.
All right. Well, that is awesome. And so Shannon, anything that I'm missing that we should be talking about with Quaderia as well that you wanted to bring up for her?
Quaderia, I have a question for you, if it's okay.
Yeah.
What do you see going back to school? What issues do you see that we need to do more of?
So I see everybody smoking weed. That's marijuana. That's one of the biggest things, marijuana.
Okay, and how do you think we can do something to have an effect on that, to change that?
I feel like if we did maybe a presentation at my school or even the middle school, because I see it a lot in the middle school too. It is an illegal drug, but I don't know how everybody's getting into it, but I'm not sure, but it's just everywhere now. So maybe a presentation with, all the facts about it, let them know that it isn't as good as they think it is.
Right. That's awesome. So, Quaderia, will you hang out with us for one more section? Because what we like to do after 6:30, when we come back around 6:32, is we like to give both you and Shannon a magic wand, right? So that both of you can do something special to kind of make an impact on the world, right? I'm sure you have some ideas of what you would do if you could just wave that magic wand, right?
Oh, sure. That'd be great.
All right. Awesome. Shannon Murphy-Bastidas, Executive Director of Prevention First. Quaderia Benjamin, Junior Neptune Township High School and Chairperson of the Youth Time to Shine Committee, talking about prevention in our schools. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after the break.
The news never stops at WOBMAM.com. Get the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:32 Wednesday, August 17th, 78 degrees, getting up to 92 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are joined by Shannon Murphy-Bastidas, Executive Director, Prevention First, and on the line, Quaderia Benjamin from Neptune Township High School and the chairperson of the Youth Time to Shine Committee, which is, of course, a Prevention First program. So, Shannon, you have an event coming up tonight, so
Yes.
why don't you tell us about that?
Tonight at the Langosta Lounge in Asbury Park, we are having an event through our Sustainability Committee for our Prevention Coalition of Monmouth County, which we receive funding for. However, basically what this event is to raise funds to sustain the coalition and the work that it does on a daily basis, and if funding were to ever end. So that's from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Langosta Lounge, $65 at the door and $60 if you purchase the tickets prior to.
Awesome. And if you haven't been to the Langosta Lounge, then you're really missing that because it's one of the cool restaurants in Asbury and really great food, and I'm sure it'll be a fun event. And you were also talking about some of the back-to-school stuff you're working on, so why don't you tell us about that?
Prevention First attends a lot of back-to-school nights where we provide resource information for the families, for the parents attending, brochures, resources on various topics such as violence prevention, different tools that parents can use to work with their children at home, and resources for them.
Cool.
So,
all right. Quaderia, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
It's that time where we give you your magic wand, your pixie dust, your fairy dust, your ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact on the world. And Quaderia, at the ripe old age of 16, you're already making an impact on the world. So why don't you tell us what you would do if you could just wave your magic wand and make something happen?
Think about it.
All right, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll think about it. You can go ahead.
All right, so you've put the pressure squarely on the shoulders of Shannon now because you want her to go first, and no doubt you're going to piggyback off something she says so that you can kind of take the easy way out, which I'm giving you a get out of jail free card for in this particular case. So Shannon, go ahead. What do you got?
I think for me, as the executive director, my magic wand would be to have more people in the community, more investors and so forth, really look at prevention and see that it works, and to be proactive rather than reactive, and to get to these kids before epidemics and them using drugs or being able to resist peer pressure of in their everyday lives.
Right.
And really that's where I see, and for me as the executive director, it's my job to gauge that need and to be able to go into the different communities and make a difference. And really, that's what I'd like to see, is just people being more proactive rather than reactive.
All right, Quaderia, we gave you long enough. It's time now.
That was a really good answer, man.
That was a good answer, but that doesn't count. You can't just accept her answer and say how good it was and then move along.
Okay. Well, okay, so I completely agree with her. To make a difference is that's just what I'd like to do, just to make a difference, period. With whatever I'm doing, that's the goal. But I'd say with my magic wand, I really wish kids in my town, or kids in anyone's town really, would just realize how these drugs are really affecting them. I just want them to see for themselves. I feel like this program is really helpful and everything, but it's a drug and it's not going to do any good for you, so why even do it? So I just feel like I just want them to see it before anybody has to help them.
That was really good. So you want to build awareness, and by building awareness, you will, of course, build prevention, right?
Yes.
Awesome answer. I dig it. All right, Shannon, why don't you give us some information? Where can folks learn more about your organization? Where can I'm sure you have the website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
We have it all.
You probably have You have your Snapchat, and of course Tinder. So go ahead.
You could reach us online at www.preventionfirst.net. Our main line is 732-663-1800. My direct extension is 224, so you're welcome to call me if anybody ever has any thoughts or feedback. I welcome it. We do have a Facebook page. Visit our Facebook page, like our page. You'll see our events on there. And we also have our coalition website, which is pcmc.org. And sure, come visit us. Look at our resources. We have our prevention toolkit on there. We have various programs that they can go through age appropriately, and hopefully we can meet the needs of the community.
Awesome. Now, Quaderia, listen, I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna take my magic wand today. Right, and I'm going to say that if I could wave my magic wand, I would say that I wish that we could get more kids, right, in our communities to be as involved and as proactive as you obviously are every day at trying to help fight some of these issues. How do you feel about that?
Thank you. That's really nice of you to say.
Well, listen, we need. When I talk to kids like you, and then I have a 15-year-old son. I go home and and he's probably playing on his Xbox. No, that's a lie. He's about 6 hours from waking up this morning. So when I get home, I start yelling at him like, what's he doing with his life? When I just talked to a young lady like you who's already doing so much for her community. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you so much.
Cool. And Shannon, great organization, doing great work. So how do we get you guys into Ocean County doing this work?
We need funding. We need more funding.
Funding. It's always money. No money, no mission.
Yeah, I know. And really that's where, that's my goal, is to just increase, the opportunity to come back into Ocean, because we were here a little bit more a couple of years back. So we need to get back in Ocean County. There is certainly a need. It's the number one county with substance abuse, heroin use, so we really need to get back in here.
Yeah, we could use some prevention, and we could use some Quaderia. Those are the two things that we really need. Quaderia Benjamin Jr., Neptune Township High School Chairperson, Youth Time to Shine Committee. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Shannon Murphy-Bastidas, Executive Director, Prevention First. Thank you so much. Doing great stuff for the community, especially in Monmouth County, but all throughout New Jersey. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We'll be back after this.